go. Okay, so we have a few odds and ends to finish up. I still haven't put the assignment into Sakai, but I don't think it will shock you. It will have elements from those examples that we've been working through over the last couple of hours. We did have a few odds and ends, so I want to tidy those up, and then, well, we can goof around a little bit, see what, see if we can get a little more practice. That would be worth your time and help you along toward the assignment due next week. Tomorrow, first thing, we'll be checking the lab assigned last week. That's the modeling thing. And I hope you're all able to do it in the first hour because I gotta, again, I'm double booked. This Fridays have been crazy around here this quarter. They're usually quiet, but not this quarter. Okay, where are we? I think we want to go here. All right, so first thing, let's go back to this example. So, you remember this guy, right? So what we were trying to do partly in the hour last time was see if we can get those blocks to be born with a starting velocity. So thanks to Mervyn, maybe we cracked the code on how to make that actually work. Still not 100% sure why what I was doing yesterday was wrong, but that's less important than actually having a good pattern that you can follow. So let's take a look and see. Let's get our script up and let's see if we can make it work this time. Okay. Here's our cube, right? So I think what I learned from yesterday was that .gameObject maybe was, see, it still doesn't like it here. I think that's what you were doing, wasn't it, Mervyn?
Yep.
Why is it complaining? Okay, maybe because I'm not doing anything with it yet. Okay, let's see. Let's take it on faith a little bit. So this thing that gets instantiated here, the instantiate, if you remember, we looked at the API yesterday and found that it's returning a transform, right? So transforms are tightly linked to GameObject, so it wouldn't be too crazy that you could ask a transform, again, via this very special property and say, transform, do you know your GameObject? Okay. Obviously, it's not the GameObject we needed. We wanted, again, where are we? We're trying to get these blocks to be born with a velocity. So it's not the GameObject, it's the rigid body, really, that we want to grab. That's the thing that does the physics. And it's not just the whole rigid body that we care about, it's the velocity, okay? So let's see if we can make this work. So we can say get component, okay? This is the one we probably want, angled brackets. We could ask for the rigid body component. Okay, again, that's a function. Don't forget your round braces. Okay, and then we can maybe say, all right, do you have a velocity that I can get a hold of? And then we could try to assign, right? We'd say new vector 3, whatever, 1F, 1F, 1F. All right, looks like it worked. Okay, but we'll believe it when we see it in the simulation. Now, 1F may not be enough to actually convince us that it's working, but If it compiles, and that's what we're waiting for now, any errors? If there is one, you should at least see one come up at the bottom. Then you can bring up the console and see the whole set of them if there are multiple ones. All right, don't see that. Let's go into the, oh, yep, I can tell. It's like, see the little hiccup as it's coming down? They're all kind of floating a little bit off to the side. Boom. All right, cool. All right, so we can make blocks be born with a particular velocity. That's kind of good. Okay, the next thing is, let's do, what do I want to do here? Do I dare? Actually, I don't think I want to. I think I'm going to start a new Unity scene. Okay. What I want to do is just go through the process. Of creating a crosshair, just to make sure it's very easy, but it's a little different from the other stuff we've done. I haven't. I showed you a crosshair, but it just comes magically in my scene. I don't think that's quite good enough. So let's get out and. Now I wonder, probably permanently changed my example here, which I probably don't want to do. So I'm going to do this. All right. Good. Get out of there, and let's build a new one. And let's see if we can get a simple crosshair working. Now again, to make it really nice, you don't want to, I'm going to really do it the fast and dirty way. You want to either steal a good crosshair from the web, again, make sure that most of it's transparent. You want to be able to see through whatever your crosshair icon is, mostly. Or go into your GIMP, and when you create a new image in GIMP, ask for the back to be filled with transparency. That's an object there. I can maybe, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Actually, let's do that first, rather than making you remember. Okay, here's what I'm talking about. If you wanted to go in, and because you have a very particular idea in mind, you want to draw your own crosshair. And what I would do is start up my GIMP. All right. File, new. Okay, it probably should be square, right? This is probably way too big. Maybe 200 by 200 pixels is good enough. Okay, but you don't just want to let it go ahead. There should be an advanced options right, and here it is right here. Okay, and it says what the image should be filled with by default, and that should be transparency. Okay. All right, so we can go boom and create it. Now we can actually go in here and just kind of draw. All right, so I want a crosshair. Okay. There's a crosshair. All right. You might want to draw it a little nicer than that if you wanted to make something impressive. But then we can go and we can say export it. You do want to save it as a ping to save the transparency. Let's go to here. Okay. Here. I just put it in my downloads. Just take the defaults. Got it. Okay, good. Back where we were. Starting up a new Unity project. Okay, let's go. Let's see how much time it takes to make a walking agent with a crosshair. Startup time for Unity might be most of it. What do we need? Let's put some ground in. Make it reasonable size. Don't need to scale Y because it's going to be microscopic anyway. I'm going to need my my movement model in for the camera, right? So I got to go assets, import package, custom package. Okay, this guy. Import. Okay, let's get rid of the camera because it's going to complain otherwise. Oh well, it won't complain yet. I didn't put my movement model in the scene yet, but that's going to happen in a moment. And again, standard assets, characters, first-person character, prefabs are the things you can just drop in. Here it is. Boom, there it is. Okay, all right. Let's make sure it works. Wow, fucking volume. That exciting. All right, great, we're done. All right, now we want a crosshair. Okay, so the model I'm using for the crosshair is I'm using a canvas. So the idea with the canvases are when you create them, you will see them come up in your 3D space like they're in some odd position. I don't even know how it decides where to put it. It'll just be kind of floating there in space. But when you actually run your sim, you will be always looking through the canvas. So basically, it's like it's glued to the front of the camera. That is not the only way to set things up, but it's a nice, easy way, and maybe a decent way for a lot of applications. All right. So what am I going to need? I'm going to need that that canvas. So we go into UI and pull up a canvas. Okay, there it is. Again, double click. There it is, floating in space. Why? Why is it there? I don't know. Where is everything else, actually? Where does it actually think it is? Look at this. I don't know. Okay, very strange, but that's fine. Doesn't matter. I'm going to right-click on the canvas just to create, because I want to put an image in, right? The image is going to be the actual crosshair, and I want it to be the child of the canvas. So let's go to UI. And let's do image. Okay, there it is. Okay, and the actual image, the source image here, you see is not set. So I think if we run this, we just won't see anything. We're gonna pop back in. Oh no, I lied. It just looks like a white square. Okay, but there's no actual image there. So let's get our actual image in. So if I go to assets, import new asset. Go back to my, okay, here it is, crosshair.ping, import it. Okay, so now it's in my project, right? So now I can go back to my image, and where it said none, I could just drag that image over. I'm pretty sure that would work, or I can click the selector button. Maybe, oh, that's weird, it doesn't actually show up. I wonder if I'm going to need to put it on a material. I might need to. It just says source image. Source image sprite, but sprite sounds like they may need it to be a material. All right, well, I'm kind of glad I went and brought my own in, because that would have been an extra thing that might be confusing. Okay, not there. All right, so let's try making a material out of this thing. Yeah, none. Huh. Let's see if we can get it working. Hopefully it's not too convoluted. Let's go and create a material and see if we can get it. I know we can create a material. I know we can make it a sprite, and we can, actually, what did I just do? Not sure what I opened up there. Okay, we go into sprites, maybe sprite default shader. I haven't done this for a while. It's not showing me any image field for me to put in, so I'm not very happy about that. Actually, none of these are. That is odd. Let's try the other option. Yeah, none of them have immaterial. That's very strange. Okay. Well, let's take a look. I'll tell you what I know we can do, and you can do the same thing, but it's just kind of ugly. I mean, would like you to be able to do better. So it seems like we're still going to have some threads to pull here. What you could do here is if you press, again, if you go to where the source image field is and you press on the selector, yeah, too bad my thing isn't showing up here, but a bunch of other things are. And you can drag like this drop-down guy, for example, drop-down arrow. Yeah, it's a sprite. Yeah, so how do I make my image a sprite? That's the thing I don't know. All right, and you put that in. It's happy with that. And then if I say play, okay, you see that saying always in front of me, like you would expect the crosshair to be. All right, so the missing piece of the puzzle is, okay, when you got an image and you bring it in, how do you actually make that a sprite? Not really sure. Let's see, let's look very quickly. Now it says sprite here as a texture type. If I make it sprite, is that all I need to do? Let's see. Okay, let's get out of here. Here. So drop down arrow, do I get it? Ah! Voila. Okay, I think that's new. Things change several times a year in Unity. Not everything, but some things. You can never be 100% sure. It's up to your memory. You want to really be confident about what details have changed. Oh, look at that. Lovely. Okay? All right, so there you go. That's the whole workflow to go and get a crosshair in. So that'd certainly be one of the things I want you to show me. How does one miss? What stuff might be good to do? My thought was it might be interesting to go and so now we're in the play around with the sim phase for the week. This might just let us dig in a little bit deeper in an area or two. I'll probably get stuck a time or two too, but maybe learn some additional stuff. So what I'd like to do is I'm thinking a good goal would be, what if we could have the rectangles, the boxes that spawn in as the child of our camera, of our movement model, right? Then they could like hover in front of us, right? And if they're our child, as we walk around, what would we expect to see? Should track with us, right? Walk around where we want it, kind of drop it down, pseudo Minecraft style, I suppose. And then, maybe use it to stack a few boxes up. Okay, let's see if we can figure out how to do that. Does that sound like a reasonable challenge? It might be and it might not be. Let's try. Okay. Okay, so if we look at, what do we want to do? We want to go and put a script somewhere in here. Okay, I'm not sure the most logical place to put the script, so let's just put we can put an empty in here, right? Practice creating an empty. I don't want it as a child of canvas, and it isn't, okay? And I often call this the script container, okay, just to give it a name so I know what it is and I don't accidentally delete it thinking it's garbage, okay? Script container, and then over here I can say add a new script. Okay, let's call it spawn cube. How about that? Spawn cube. All right. And what happened to my script? There it is. All right. Let's go in here. And let's see. Make something happen. Okay. So the first thing would be that, so we're going to spawn a cube when? I think I want to spawn it maybe on startup to begin with. Let's start with that. Let's see. We're probably going to need a prefab to instantiate, right? So I want it to be like instantiate, our prefab here, except it doesn't exist yet, right? So it's just not going to be happy with my code if we fix that. And then our prefab, we can put that in as like a public transform, maybe. Okay, now that's not going to do everything I wanted by a long shot, but let's see if we can make it do something. Okay, to start with, and so now our cube has a new property called our prefab. Okay, I want to let's go to our plane. Let's create a cube so we can use it for our prefab. So again, there probably is a way to just spawn cubes. Just directly spawn cubes exactly like the one, the raw cubes that I just created. The problem is that it doesn't have a rigid body on them. And I want them to have a rigid body, so when if you let go of it, it would drop to the ground or drop on top of our pile of cubes. Okay? So here's our cube. Let's go in and say add component. Let's go into physics, rigid body, it's right here. Okay, there we go. All right. So now when we play this thing, we should see it should fall to the ground, hopefully. Boom. All right. It does. Okay. Now we actually don't want that cube in our scene. What we want is, so this is a, let's call it a spawned cube, just to keep it, give it a name. I want to put it over in my project window over here. Okay. So I think I'm not gonna worry about good organization here. So we better be kind of quick and dirty if we're gonna actually get anywhere. Okay. So I'm gonna just kind of drop it directly into my hierarchy here. Spawn cube. So now it is a prefab. It magically turned into a prefab, but by virtue of being put over there. Okay. So now I can take this spawn cube. Now I think, can I delete the original one? Let's just see if I can. I'm going to see if I can delete the one on my screen. And the prefab should stay around. There you go. Okay, that worked. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to go back to my script. Okay, I want to give it the spawned cube there as our prefab. Okay, and now when I run, what should happen? One of those, it should grab that and it should build one. Even though there's none in the scene, one should appear. Now it might be in the plane, I didn't set the position or anything, so that's going to have to be next. Let's see what we see. That might be prepared for disappointment. Okay. It actually spawned in the same location as the other one. All right, fine. All right, now I don't want it to spawn in there. I want it to spawn right here in front of the camera. How can I do that? Any ideas? I can set the position of this thing, I presume, right? We can do, we saw that game object works, right? Well, it's already a transform. So I think we can just say, let's just mess with the position. Let's see, dot position equals new vector 3, and let's put it a little above the origin. 0f. Y direction is the up direction, right? So we'll make it just 3 meters above the origin, 0f. Okay. That should work, right? Right? Better work. Okay, now you see, we definitely altered the position, right? Didn't fall from as far. All right. Now, okay, but that's still not what I want. Actually, let's put it in. All right, so how do we actually parent? I don't remember how we do that. Anyone know? No? Well, we're creating it in code, right? So it's not a matter of just dragging it under. That would be the right answer for things that are not are created at scene build time rather than at runtime. How do parent object? Okay, transform.parent maybe? Looks like there's a transform.parent. Okay, so let's do this. We want the parent to be maybe our camera, I think. So I think our character, let's see what we can do. Let's actually take a look. I don't remember what the structure of our FPS controller is. It's got stuff in it, see? It's got the first person character there. The first person character has a transform. I don't know what we should use. Let's use the first person character. Okay, so let's take that to be the parent object. I'm not sure what the pros and cons are, but my instinct tells me to tunnel down as far as I can, so I'm going to do that. It's just a guess. Could be wrong. All right, so I'm going to need another slot for my parent. Okay. All right, now let's set that up. It should show up here in the script. Let's drag the first person character into that slot. Okay. All right. And then I want to say, so let's see. Let's do this. I think I better capture that new object in a special variable. So new cube is going to be just this, because we're going to need it for more than one thing, I think. So let's hang on to it. And then is that wrong? What is instantiate returning? It does say transform. See, this thing still amazes me. Why is it not happy with that? Oh, transform cannot be found. Oh, interesting.
You're missing it.
Missing an include there? What am I missing? It's not in Unity Engine? Oh, that's what it is. Thank you. All right. All right. Whew. All right. Sanity restored. All right. So now we can go like this. All right. So now we can make its parent be new cube dot parent will equal parent, the thing up above. So sorry for confusing name. That second parent is the one we just locked in. And then let's see, the Z direction is the forward direction. Well, let's just putting it. Now, I suspect that these positions are now should now be relative to the parent. And this could be really disappointing because the cube might end up right on top of the camera and we won't even see that it's there. So that would be a drag, but let's just see. It's kind of slow this morning. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it's following me along. I got a pet. All right. So maybe I need to, I really don't want to have it affected by gravity, I guess. Or maybe even, you remember there's a switch on the objects? Well, actually, I don't think we really talked about that. Let's actually take a look at something which is a rigid body. Let me drag one of these things into the scenes. We can actually look at it. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, there's a switch here for is kinematic. You guys know what the distinction is between a kinematic rigid body and just a normal rigid body that isn't kinematic?
I think kinematic interacts with the other objects.
It does.
That's all I know.
But the normal rigid body interacts, right? Like when you drop it, it bounces off the ground. So what's different? Okay. So when you say a body is kinematic, as I recall, what it does is it doesn't actually use physics to move the body anymore. It basically lets you move it in code. And in our case, I'm not going to move it at all. I would like to just have it flow down in front of me, just kind of rigidly moving around with me, so I could then go to the table and say, release, and let it fall to the table. Right? That's what I would like. So let's see if we can set the is kinematic switch on this thing. Or actually, you know what we can do? We can go to our prefab. This is, wait a minute. This is not the prefab. Let me delete this. This is my demo spawn cube. You go away. Let's go back to the prefab. If we want it to be born kinematic, then let's edit the prefab. which is something you could never do up till this year, but now you can. Well, you can do it easily. And now we can do that. And then I think when we go into this thing, it should not be falling to the ground. It might just be invisible floating all over our heads. Probably it is. And when I look up, it may move with me, you see? So it may be, having everything white is maybe not the best choice. Oh, maybe it's right down. It looks like it's right down here at my feet. Let's go into the game and move a little bit. And then drop back out and see what's happened. Doesn't look like anything has happened. That's a little disappointing. Alright, let's mess with its position. So, as I said, Unity, as I said a while ago, Unity uses a left-hand coordinate system, right, where X comes out to the right. It's like X, Y, Z. So I want it floating in front of me. So maybe if this is relevant to the camera, which is what I would expect, and I put some Z in here, maybe that would be good. Maybe it should put some Y in too. Let's put it meter off the ground, perhaps? All right, let's see. What happened to the parenting? And it's definitely kinematic, or otherwise magical. I really need to put a material on that thing, don't I? Or on the ground. That would do it too. The parenting is now completely gone. What's that? Oh, is that the one that's actually attached to us? Why are we getting a second one? Sure I can. I don't think we'll see anything. We'll see the sun. All right, where is that other cube coming from? It's not in the scene. Now let's put some material down in the plane so we can actually see something. Okay. Let's go in and create. Again, if I were doing this for real and not under quite as demanding time circumstances, I would organize this better. Materials should probably be in a folder called Materials, for example. Okay, ground, mat. There it is. Let's go in and dark brown. All right, that'll be fine. All right, around that. The ground. All right, so I can definitely see it does not look like there are any stray cubes around. So why are we getting two instantiated? That is a mystery. There's one cube. Okay. All right, I'm not going to worry about the extra one at the moment. Let's just try to get the one we have kind of in where I want it. Let's move it closer in. Let's see what that looks like. Where in the world? All right, it must be taking that position in world coordinates, are all I can imagine. Let's see where our model starts in world coordinates. Oh, it's starting close to the origin. Let's look at our spawn cube and see where it wants to be born. Okay, here it is. Let's get rid of that. Let's see if that's any better. Okay, that's not exactly what I want, but it's kind of what I want. All right. Now why, I still don't know about the magical mystery extra cube there. All right, now what I would like to do, though, is when I click my mouse, I would like to have it stop being kinematic and start being a normal rigid body so I could place it in my scene and it can be part of my scene. Okay? So, I want to remove the parenting, but that's not the most important thing. Let's see how we can make a rigid body kinematic. Rigid kinematic. It is kinematic. Looks like is the thing. Okay, I think we can do that. All right, let's take a look. All right, so we're looking for a mouse click, right? So if input, what is it, mouse something? Get mouse button down. That'll do it. Get mouse button down. And 0 is the left one, right? Okay, so if the mouse button's pressed, we want to grab our prefab. It is. We need its rigid body component again. Okay, we know how to do that. Okay. Is kinematic equals false. All right. I'm clicking. It's not happening. Let's see what's actually going on here in the hierarchy. So spawn cube clone, we can look at that. And it's still set to be kinematic. Don't like that. So maybe it's not as easy as just setting it. Maybe that's like a read-only thing. No, here we go. Is false. Set false. Set true. Huh. All right. Why does it just not like me? Oh, okay. So the prefab is not the spawned object. That's my problem. Right? So I'm messing with, do you see? I'm messing with the prefab here. That's not the right thing. We need to mess with our new cube. Okay? So let's actually add in a private variable here. Transform new cube. We'll define it up here. And then over here, we won't define it. We'll just assign it. Does that make sense to you guys? All right. Then over here, we can say new cube, get component is kinematic, blah, blah, blah. All right. That's good. Go. Oh my gosh. What happened? Oh. That's strange. It looks like kinematic turned off on that thing on its own. Maybe because of the mouse click of turning the thing on actually is picked up by the system. That's unfortunate. Let me try it. Let me get it. Let's make it float a little higher in the air. So let me get a little further ahead of me. I also don't know why it's looking like it's a little off to the side. That's, well, wait a minute. Wait, now, yes I do. That's this parameter right here. Let's put that back to 0. Why? No, Z should be out front, right?
So are you trying to manipulate the cube that's 50 bars down?
I want the cube to become kinematic when I click, so it should fall to the ground. Yeah.
Because I think in start we're creating 2 cubes. We've got a new cube, which we instantiated our prefab.
Yeah.
Below all, we've got new cubes up parent equals parent, and then we instantiated second cube with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you. Cut and paste error. Yeah, let's get rid of, that's what it is. That's the second one. Let's get rid of that. Thank you. You've solved the mystery cube. You get the prize for that. All right. Let's try one more time and just see. Maybe I'll click a little faster. Okay, and it seems like it's still kinematic. Now we can see, we can go out here and we could look. Actually, where did it go? It's completely gone. It's not even in the hierarchy. There's the cube. Where is it in the theme description at the bottom? It must be under, oh, it's under first person character. Okay, so it's over here. Let's just verify. Click into it. Yeah, is kinematic is false. I forget to set it true. Oh, I forgot to set it. I need to set it true when it's born, probably. I did it on the prefab. I don't know why this should be necessary, but okay. I'm not going to solve every mystery this morning for sure. So let's do it. Let's make sure it does it the way we want it. Okay. True, it's kind of false. All right. Better, maybe. Let's try again. Oh boy. There we go. You see it drop? Now it's still following me. I've got to undo the parenting. Okay. Unity. How to unparent an object. And just make it null. Okay. That would have been my guess. Okay. Let's fix it. New cube. Equals null. Okay, let's test it. Yeah, I don't like the positioning. I don't understand the positioning. Oh, look at that. Okay. All right. Let's, probably the positioning comes from the fact that I'll bet my controller is born with some kind of an orientation here. Well, but it's not. Very strange. Okay, there's still some mysteries here, guys, for sure. But the next thing I would like to do, we've got 5 minutes. How much more could we possibly do? Well, let's make another cube so we can keep making them, right? Here's our code to create a cube. Okay, cutting and pasting, not the right choice here probably, but okay, forgive me. Oh man, I really got to work on these coordinates. Look at this. They're all being born at the same location, you see that? And actually, they seem to not be immediately created until I click a second time, which is weird. Yeah. So I'll bet there is a nice way in Unity. I'll bet there is an easy way to go and set these coordinates with respect to the parent, but I don't know it off the top of my head. Let's see. Let's take a quick look. Set position relative to parent. Transform.local position. There we go. There's an idea. Let's do this. Here's where our guys are being born and coming in. Let's do local position. And this would be to the front and up. Okay. That might be good. Where's my new cube? You know, until I click a second time, and then it comes out at the wrong location.
It's coming out based off your perspective. You'll look down.
Yeah. Yeah. Not what I want. Okay. Let's see if we can get one. Let's see if we can get two on top of one another here. Then I'll say victory. Oh, look at that. We did it. All right. Okay, so you see, now nothing's totally easy, right? I mean, Unity makes things easy in a sense, but nothing's completely for free if you're trying to do anything at all interesting. So you guys could consider, if you wanted, well, I'll put out the actual assignment shortly, so you can see exactly what I need. It's not going to be to build something that's elaborate, but you could if you want to. If you want to go for the gusto. What I would really like with a little more time is I'd like to be able to build up the blocks. And then what I'd like is when you hit the right mouse button, that you spawn a cube and shoot it out. So you can have a cube gun. Okay? So you can set stuff up and knock it down, depending on which mouse click. So I think you guys could do that. You could totally do that. I can't do it in 1 hour. It could take a little longer than that. Okay, again, that's not where the bar is to do a decent job with the lab, but, you know, it's good to have some aspirational goals too. Any questions before we wrap up? All right, so tomorrow first thing, your Unity apps with your own objects modeled. The assignment will be out, so if you have questions, be sure to grab me because before the end of the hour, probably I'll be out of here. And I think we got to check your thing now. All right, good. Oh, thank you. Yes, I will. Yeah.